All right, imagine the year is 1970. If you were a typical child growing up through this time, many things would look different than nowadays. For example, recreational activities. You would not have begun to play sports until middle school, normally 7th or 8th grade. And unfortunately, you would not become good at those sports until the latter half of your high school years. The 1970s also marked a changing time for the United States. There was double-digit inflation, an oil embargo, a sputtering economy, and unfortunately, college costs were rising rapidly. Now let's look at 2014. There are more kids than ever in organized sports, an estimated 30 million from Pee Wee all the way through high school. College is obviously getting extremely expensive, like we know, and America has a large obsession with sports. What's the reasoning behind this change? Youth athletics have become more aggressive through the decades for things like social norms, higher education costs, and America's obsession with competition. Let's begin with society's social norms. It is somewhat unacceptable in our society to raise a child that has not become athletic through their middle school years. When you look back 30 or 40 years, parents weren't as obsessed with sports as they now are today. Let's look at a typical story for an American child. Say you have a child that's the age of 5 or 6 and you stick them in a sport. If they like the sport, it becomes rapidly aggressive, maybe investing more time, energy, and money. Unfortunately, that means the child won't have more time to spend as a kid, and they will lose out on their childhood years. As this man says, McEwen, in the 60s and 70s, there was not this gold rush mentality of playing professionally. Now parents pay big money for private coaching, travel teams, and medical bills, all with the idea of getting the child into the college of their choice. The ending of the statement is the key, the college of the parents' choice. Little children don't have a choice to where they want to go when they're younger. It's all about what the parents want. Due to society's pressure to raise an athletic child, many children are being pushed to be too aggressive in youth athletics at too young of an age. Now, let's consider the higher education costs. College tuition and fees have increased 1,120% since 1978. Average tuition at a four-year university has increased 15% between 2008 and 2010, and that was 4 whole years ago. Parents are slowly becoming more smarter about what they're going to do to pay for their child's education. What's an easy route? Athletic scholarships. By making their child athletically inclined, they can rise or they can decrease their costs in their child's education. So, let's give an example. Although 59% of all high school football and basketball players believe that they will play college sports, only 1 in 100 actually do. Approximately 150,000 high school seniors played basketball last year. Only 3,800 actually went to college to play a sport. And by the latter half of their 4 years, only 2,400 remained playing that sport. Many people believe this is because parents pushed them at a young age and they decided that's not what they wanted out of their college experience. But to even get considered to be in the scholarship pipeline, you have to put much time, dedication, and money into scholarships. Unfortunately, many parents are realizing that this is too much for their family to look into. Parents have to work 2 jobs, and sometimes they even have to take off work just to go to their children's games, go take their children to practices, and they're realizing there's much more time being dedicated than they even thought just to get a college scholarship. Finally, let's look at society's obsession with competition. This man said, the thrill of individual competition, a sense of team accomplishment, the adulation of fans that can result in fame and fortune, all of this and much more are part of the complex mix that compels athletes to at times risk life and a limb to succeed. Now the ending is a little aggressive, but it's true that society is extremely obsessed with competition. Let's just look at our world today, for example. Money, success, image and power. All of this is competition every single day amongst all of us, including sports like I'm talking about now. So, athletes who take the game seriously get injured, they put much time into it and a lot of sacrifices. It's becoming more competition for people and less fun for kids, which is not what we want out of society. In conclusion, youth athletics have become extremely aggressive through the decades because of things as social norms, higher education costs, and society's obsession with competition. Many parents believe that they do not raise a child that's extremely athletic, they have failed. Unfortunately, higher education costs are becoming rapidly profound in our lives, And the easiest way for some parents to get their child's education down is to take them to scholarships for school. And finally, America has become extremely obsessed with competition. So, if you look to the future, say the year 2040, what do you want youth athletics to look like? Look at the jump we've made in the last 40 years. Can we even make this jump anymore? Thank you.